Welcome back to Summary Central, the place where we take brilliant books, squeeze out the useful parts, add a little humor so you do not cry about your life choices, and help you become a more focused, less distracted human being. Today we are diving into Deep Work by Cal Newport, a book that basically asks one bold question. What if your brain actually worked the way it was supposed to? Deep work argues that your ability to concentrate deeply is becoming rare at the same moment it is becoming absurdly valuable. Translation. Most people have attention spans made of wet cardboard, and if you can focus for longer than a goldfish's mortgage approval period, you basically win at life. This summary is going to take the core ideas of the book and break them down into something you can apply right after watching. So if you want more content that boosts your brain while lightly roasting your life habits, hit subscribe so you never miss a summary. Section 1. What deep work actually means. Deep work is when you focus on one cognitively demanding task without distractions. No phone, no notifications, no doom scrolling, no checking to see if your ex watched your story, just pure concentration that pushes your mind to the edge of its capability. Why does this matter? Because deep work creates value. It helps you master skills faster, produce better work, and generate ideas that shallow multitask minds simply cannot create. This is the equivalent of strapping a rocket engine to your brain and politely asking it to please do something impressive. Shallow work, on the other hand, is the stuff you do when you are pretending to be productive. Emails. Meetings that should have been emails. Slack messages. Clicking refresh hoping your inbox magically changes. These tasks do not stretch your mind. They nibble at it like tiny digital piranhas. Cal Newport argues that if you cannot separate deep work from shallow work, your career and creativity get stuck in low gear forever. Section 2. Why you can't focus. It is not your fault, but also kind of your fault. Modern life is engineered to annihilate your attention. Newport calls this the fragmented mind problem. Every time you switch tasks, you leave attention residue behind. It is like when you close 100 Chrome tabs and your laptop still screams in pain because it remembers what you did to it. The same thing happens in your brain. When you bounce between tasks, part of your mind stays stuck on the previous one. So even when you think you are multitasking like a productivity wizard, you are actually doing everything badly at once. And then there is technology. Your phone is not a tool. It is a hyper-optimized slot machine that runs on dopamine and regret. Every notification is a tiny thief stealing just enough of your attention to keep you from entering deep work. This is why Newport says focus is not a nice skill to have. It is a survival requirement for anyone trying to do meaningful work in a world designed to distract you into oblivion. Section 3. The Deep Work Hypothesis. Newport makes a bold claim. The people who thrive in the modern economy are the ones who can do two things. 1. Learn complicated stuff quickly. 2. Produce at an elite level. Both require deep work. You cannot learn difficult skills while checking your phone. You cannot produce world-class output while switching tasks every 40 seconds. You cannot build a career on shallow effort, at least not one that does not collapse like an undercooked souffle. Deep work is not optional anymore. It is a competitive edge, the kind that makes people ask how you get so much done while they struggle to finish a paragraph without being hypnotized by a notification bubble. Oh, and while we are here, gentle engagement cue number 1. If you have ever tried to focus and then found yourself staring into the fridge with no memory of how you got there, tap the like button so I know you understand the struggle. Section 4. Train your brain like a monk with Wi-Fi. One of Newport's big arguments is that focus is a skill. It is not a personality trait, not a gift, not something reserved for meditation masters living on mountains. It is something you train. Think about your attention like a muscle. If you check your phone every time you feel bored, your attention muscle atrophies. If you sit with boredom and train your mind to remain still, your attention muscle strengthens. This is why Newport tells you to embrace boredom, not in a miserable way, in a training way. When you get the urge to switch tasks, resist it. When your brain screams for stimulation, breathe and hold the line. Every repetition builds focus. He even recommends productive meditation. It is where you think deeply about a problem while doing something repetitive like walking. It lets your brain wander purposefully instead of randomly. And you get bonus steps on your fitness tracker. So that is a win. Section 5. Structure your life around focus. This is where Newport gets practical. He says deep work only survives if you design your life to support it. That means building rituals, routines, and schedules that protect your attention like a medieval castle wall. He recommends setting aside fixed blocks of time for deep work every day. Same time, same place, same routine. When you do this consistently, your brain starts recognizing the pattern and shifts into focus mode more quickly. It becomes automatic, like brushing your teeth or regretting your life choices at 2 a.m. You also need a shutdown ritual, a moment at the end of your workday where you review your tasks, clarify tomorrow, and then tell your brain that work is officially over. This reduces stress and prevents those annoying late night moments where your brain whispers, "Hey, remember that thing you forgot to do." Section 6. Kill shallow work before it kills your potential. Cal Newport makes one thing painfully clear. Shallow work will happily devour your entire life if you let it. It is like digital kudzu. Answer an email here, respond to a message there, attend a meeting that could have been handled by a well-trained pigeon, and suddenly your whole day is gone. Newport says shallow work is not evil. It is just greedy. It expands to fill every available corner of your schedule unless you aggressively box it in. That means assigning strict time limits to low-value tasks. Batch your emails. Set meeting criteria. Avoid open-ended messaging back and forth unless it is truly necessary. Basically, treat shallow work like a raccoon. It is fine if it stays outside. It is a problem if it gets into your kitchen. He pushes you to schedule every minute of your day. Not obsessively, but intentionally. Because the moment your schedule becomes loose, shallow work senses weakness and moves in like a roommate who forgot to pay rent. The idea is simple. The less time shallow work gets, the more time deep work can claim. And the more deep work you do, the faster you become the kind of person people assume is naturally gifted when really you just learn to say no to nonsense. Section 7. The grand gesture. When drama helps. Sometimes you need a dramatic move to jumpstart your focus. Newport calls this the grand gesture. It is when you invest extra money, effort, or inconvenience to force yourself into a deep work state. Think renting a cabin to finish a project, booking a hotel room so you cannot escape your own productivity, or finding a library so silent it feels like the books are judging you into focus. The grand gesture works because your brain recognizes the seriousness of the moment. When you change your environment dramatically, your mind follows. It is psychological momentum. The same reason people buy new gym shoes when they decide to turn their life around. Is the shoe magic? No. But the symbolism is. Section 8. Roosevelt Dash. Productivity through panic. Here is a technique that sounds mildly dangerous, but works like a charm. The Roosevelt Dash, inspired by Theodore Roosevelt's absurd work ethic, involves giving yourself a ridiculously tight deadline for a challenging task. Why? Because humans focus better when stakes are higher. When you only have 90 minutes to finish something, you do not casually wander off to check Instagram. Your brain snaps into attention like it just heard a fire alarm. This technique forces intensity, and intensity is the secret sauce of deep work. Not comfort, not ambient lofi playlists, intensity. The Roosevelt Dash makes your brain wake up and choose greatness instead of distraction. Section 9. Become strategically inconvenient. Newport has a controversial but hilarious recommendation. Make yourself slightly harder to reach, not obnoxiously unavailable, just unavailable in a way that saves your brain from constant interruptions. Because here's the truth. The world will always want a piece of you. People will email, message, ping, poke, and summon you like you are the customer service department for their existence. If you respond instantly every time, you train people to expect it. And then your deep work melts faster than ice cream on a hot sidewalk. Newport suggests check email at designated times, use autoresponders that set expectations, decline pointless meetings, avoid open door policies unless you enjoy chaos. This is not about being rude. It is about protecting your ability to produce the work that actually makes your life better. Tiny engagement cue number 2. If you have ever been interrupted right when you were finally focusing, drop a comment saying, same. Section 10. Focus is a moral superpower. Near the end of the book, Newport gets philosophical. He says, deep work is not just productive, it is meaningful. It helps you build a life filled with intentionality instead of distraction. A life where your attention works for you instead of being rented out to every app on your phone. Mastering deep work gives your days structure, your work more impact, your mind more clarity. It lets you create things that matter. It lets you feel capable instead of overwhelmed. The modern world tries to chop your attention into microscopic pieces. Deep work glues it back together. Section 11. The compound effect of consistent focus. Deep work compounds over time in a way that feels unfair to everyone who does not practice it. 1 hour a day might feel insignificant at first, but over weeks and months, those hours stack up into expertise, projects completed, skills mastered, goals achieved. Every deep work session sharpens your mind. Every distraction-free block of time adds to your long-term advantage. Meanwhile, people who rely on shallow multitasking stay stuck in the same loop of busyness without progress. Deep work creates separation. It carves out space between you and your old habits, between you and your old results, between you and everyone still fighting their attention span like it is a small, angry dog. Section 12. What a life of deep work actually looks like. Imagine a life where your best ideas are not drowned out by noise, where you finish important tasks in hours instead of dragging them over days, where you feel proud of the work you do, where your attention actually belongs to you. Newport paints a picture of what happens when deep work becomes a lifestyle. You gain clarity, you reduce stress, you feel competent, you feel purposeful, and you build something meaningful instead of living in a constant fog of digital fuzz. Engagement cue number 3. If you want more book summaries that make you laugh while also upgrading your mind, hit subscribe so you never miss a new one. Conclusion. Deep work is not a productivity trick. It is a foundation, a philosophy, a decision to stop letting distractions win and start taking your attention seriously. If you want to learn hard things, create meaningful work, and build a life you are proud of, you need deep work. Not occasionally, consistently. Because the truth is simple. A distracted life is a diminished life. A focused life is a powerful one. That wraps up the 15-minute summary of Deep Work by Cal Newport. If this helped you, hit the like button so the YouTube algorithm knows you are one of the rare humans left who can still concentrate. And do not forget to check out the 5-minute version next. Perfect for those days when your attention span packs its bags and leaves early.